jokes, yeah, you're insightful, but are you likable? You got jokes, you're the host, stand up. Are you likable?
Back to the Albany thing, and this is just so like I've had Albany comics on here before, and I'm curious to get your take on it too. But like y'all have like mics almost 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week.
There's 6 mics a week. No, there's 7. There's 7 mics in 6 days.
7 mics in 6 days. So like you guys can do enough comedy, but you don't like. I mean, like venturing out isn't like a normal, like it's kind of, you guys are kind
of. For shows, I don't feel like the need. Some people feel like, I know a lot of people will like go out to, come down to like some of the mics that you're on, that you do, or they'll go to Vermont and do a mic, or they'll go down to the city and for a day and do a bunch of mics.
Yeah.
I don't see the benefit in that, like traveling one day to go to New York for 5 mics in one day.
Yeah.
I don't, like, I get it. Like you want to try to just get a bunch in.
Yeah.
But the cost of that for, especially New York City mics, which I've never been to, but have heard they're the worst.
They're pretty brutal sometimes, yeah.
So like you're sure everything's new if nobody in the room knows you.
Yeah.
But also none of those people are paying attention.
Yeah. So like I think it's interesting because like one, you get to like because you're a big proponent of like reworking the same set over and over again, right? So when you go to different territories, like you can rework that set at a mic and then try to, tinker with it a little bit.
It's not as like important.
Yeah, but it's also like, I think the value in it is exposure to something different, I've been going down to New York. I've taken like 2 weeks off, but I was going like every Monday for the full day and hitting up as many different mics as I could. But like, it's kind of inspiring in a way, just because you're seeing different shit and you're like, I didn't think of phrasing something that way.
Sure.
And it's just like, I think like every Wednesday I did the 2-way mic in Beacon, right? And when I started, it was very like cool because I felt pressure to write well and to have like my shit together. And now I'm very comfortable there, so I just kind of like get up and I kind of work through a premise and like kind of do this kind of thing. But like I used to have a much more like methodical process with it, and I used to be much more like structured. But like but when I go to New York, it's very much like with a purpose because I'm investing money to do it. And I'm like, all right, now I want to figure out these bits, and nobody knows me, which is great. So if I earn a laugh, I really earn
like that. I do like.
Yeah.
Because like I said, some of them are too supportive. Some are, there's no support. It's laugh or you get nothing, which I think is good. Like Comedy Works on Friday night is, you're not getting anything for free.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Definitely not for free.
Well, you're not getting any drinks for free. You're not getting any parking for free.
You're not even getting paid to do the show.
Well, that I'm talking about the mic. But let's not talk about Tommy.
Big listener, Tommy.
Yeah, I know. Imagine, Tommy. I have some questions for you if you hear this. Call me. But I just got deja vu. That's weird.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I'm getting deja vu about telling you I had deja vu too, which is even weirder.
Ooh.
Or maybe I've just talked shit about this before.
And then we came.
But yeah, Comedy Works is definitely a place where like you're getting, everything is honest, I think.
Yeah. And there's crowd there.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I guess last week was tough, and it was Belmont, which stinks. I didn't go because of that. We'd had the show in Hudson, so it was too far to get up there.
Game 6, though. Or not Game 6, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Game 2.
That's true. So anybody that was super into the Belmont was probably super into the finals, too. Like, there's a lot of overlap there.
Yeah.
But lately it's been like, I don't know, there's 30 comics. So just that is a decent audience.
Yeah.
And I'd say out of those 30, there's probably 10 that only go to that mic.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
So they're not seeing you work on the jokes at other mics before that night. Mm-hmm. So it is like almost new. Everything's new to them.
Yeah.
And then there's like another 20 to 40 sometimes
tourists. Yeah. Which is awesome.
Local people that like a friend, like some guy will come. This happens a lot. Some guy will show up. He comes back the next week with 8 people. And you're like,
that's cool.
And then to me, that's why like that mic is almost not a mic. Like
Yeah.
it's a mic if there's 5 audience and 30 comics. It's a show if there's, and I think most of the good people that go there and the people that are understand kind of how like things have to go do kind of take it up a notch when there's a bunch of people there on purpose.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to try the new bit I thought of an hour and a half ago if there's 75 people, or at least I'm not starting with it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
I want them to laugh. I want them to come back because we're there every week.
Yeah,
So you want those people to come back.
it's true. I should do that actually.
So like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I would just say like, I would say if there's 100 people, you know, in an audience for a mic, which is crazy. I mean, like that happens very rarely, but I'd say like regularly 50 to 60 sometimes.
Yeah, it's a great turnout for
Yeah.
a fucking mic. It's crazy.
Like you kind of,
In the summer, I think in the winter it's a little bit.
winter
more
was
fun.
actually good this year.
Really?
Usually it's terrible,
Okay.
but it was good.
Oh.
I think the comedy boom is still going. People
Yeah.
are like, oh, it's going to pop. With social media, I don't see how it could. The only way I could think of it popping is if we're doing too much.
Yeah.
And you burn people out on it, especially because the more shows and the more producers and the more lineups, the more diluted it's going to get. The
Yeah.
more comics. We have like, there's probably 60 comics in like the Albany, Troy, like area, Albany,
It's a lot up
Schenectady,
there.
Troy.
It's a lot up there.
And I'd say like half are like have a good 10 to 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. And the other half are still learning, and they'll probably get
Yeah.
there, or they'll give up before they do, or whatever. But
What do you think of like these? I don't know what they call them, but they're like super showcase shows that they do sometimes.
like the 12.
I think we counted like 20 on one of those lineups.
You got to look up Bad Comedy Flyers on Facebook. It's a Facebook group of bad.
Oh,
comedy
really?
flyers. Very funny.
I wonder how many
Very
are
AI.
on there.
Like, be like 100 people on a show, and they're like 42 years later, the show will be over.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't think that's terrible.
I don't know
would
if
not-
that's good. Yeah.
I would no. It's not good. I mean, it
Yeah.
might not be a bad show overall, but like you'll see it with Comedy Works. Because there's 30 people. Technically, it's a 30-person, 5-minute showcase.
Yeah.
Like, kind of. Like,
Yeah.
when there's a lot of audience, there it is.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if, especially with mics, I don't know if the host does a good enough job sometimes when you have a lot of audience members of reminding the audience that anybody can sign up for this. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to do it in a negative way.
Yeah.
You do it in a positive way. You can be like, hey, if any of you people who want to sign up, like you say, anybody can sign
Yeah.
up. So they know when somebody goes up that has done comedy twice,
Yeah, like the
talks
expectation
about their
for
balls
comedy.
for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like you need to know that like that person is gonna be gone, and another person that shows up every week is gonna be on.
It would be kind of cool. I just thought it'd be kind of cool, but I don't know how good it would be to have like maybe like a projector on the side of the stage that like puts up like your almost like a baseball card where it's like you on stage, but it
Credits.
says somebody's name, their handle, and then like years doing comedy.
Sure.
You know, like that'd be kind of funny. You know,
Because the first time person always gets an applause. And I
Yeah.
think that's important. I think
Yep.
if anybody's listening to this that has never done comedy and you're going to do comedy for the first time, tell the audience it's your first time.
Yes.
You will get a round of applause. It's bullshit for sure. I mean, they're happy that you're doing it and it's your first time.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're not getting applauded for your jokes, but you will get the sense of an applause that will give you some sort of relaxation that will help you get through the rest of it.
there was a guy in New York that got on stage and he's like, this is my 23rd time
Yeah,
doing
that's-
and it's like, Jesus Christ, man, let it go. Like,
He got that applause the first couple times.
oh my
and-
God. And people are still like, they just don't know what they want to do. It's just like, come on, man.
Well,
Give it up.
the worst is somebody goes up and eats shit, and then the host
Oh,
goes
yeah.
up and goes, "Hey, man, was that your first time?" And they're like, "No," and you're like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And like, there's nothing worse than asking after the fact and being wrong.
Oh, dude.
That's like
yeah.
how long? When's the baby due? And the woman's like, "I'm not pregnant." And you're like, "Oh, damn it!"
brutal.
Like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't want to miss guess how long somebody's been doing comedy.
Yeah.
I get it the other way, which is great. I get it like, oh, you've only been doing comedy for 4 years.
Yeah.
People assume because I'm older that I've been doing it for a while, but I had a midlife crisis and just had to start doing comedy. So
Yeah, I feel like that stopped for me pretty soon. Like I for the first like year, I was always like, oh wow, da, da, da. And then like I just hit my 2-year mark in April, and then people are like, oh, like they just stopped saying that. They're like, oh, you know, because at first it was like, yeah, I'm almost at 2 years, and like, oh wow, almost at 2 years, and then like when I hit the 2-year mark, they just stopped caring.
Yeah,
you know. But also, it's probably my comedy hasn't improved.
I thought you were doing it longer. I thought you've been doing this longer than you are.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's just 2 years. I did storytelling before this, but
okay.
But it wasn't like. It's a way different medium. It's
yeah. See, I'm trying to figure out. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Like
same. Same.
I have jokes. I have 15 to 20 minutes of good jokes, and then I have 2 hours of nonsense in a notebook that I can't seem to make it. The problem is I'm not sitting down. It bothers me so much because it's just my personality type.
Yep.
I didn't do homework. I didn't do school projects. I'm actually a high school dropout. I went to my guidance counselor my senior year, and the guidance counselor's like, just so you know, no matter what you do your senior year, you're going to have to come back next year. And I was like, oh, then I should probably get out of here.
We should probably break up, no? Yeah.
We'll just call that like now. Thank you for telling me that now.
That is actually
because I would have been pissed if I got to like where I thought I might graduate and then they told me no. I would have been mad.
Yeah.
So I dropped out. I went and got my GED before all of my friends graduated high school. So technically I was a high school graduate before everyone else.
That's actually kind of funny.
And then I went to Hudson Valley and dropped out of there. I was like, nah, this isn't going to work. School is just not for me. I need to go get a job, and I worked full time the whole time instead. But yeah, like I need to sit down because the jokes in my 20 minutes are mostly jokes I did sit down at one point and write. Mm-hmm. And then I tweaked them over time or added to them. Like, you know, I started talking about my living with my dad, and that was like a minute joke that's now 7 of my 15.
Yeah.
You know, like he's become so much more of my set than he ever was because it was like I just kept adding to it because something would happen at home.
Yeah, no, you're living it. Yeah. That is often a source of inspiration, which is good.
And I asked him, I was like, do you care? And he's like, nah.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He's not going to watch it, so he doesn't care. Like as long as he never sees it, and you know, it's not a big deal. And plus, it's more about the way I feel about living with my dad and taking care of my dad more than what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's like how I'm perceived or how I think I'm being perceived by the world for being my age, living at home, things like that.
Yeah. When I was running some material by my dad, I'm like, hey, a lot of this is about you. And then I would talk about him and talk to him about it. And then he would just be like, is it getting laughs? And I'm like, yeah, like a lot. And he goes, all right. He's like, I don't really give a shit. You know, he just like, he wanted it to be more, he cared more about it being successful than he cared about like how it made him look. And then there's some other stuff that I haven't brought up to him that I kind of need to. My sister thinks it would be okay, but I'm like, he's kind of prideful kind of guy.
Yeah, like I would say anything I talk about my dad, if you met my dad, you'd see all of these things immediately.
Yeah.
Like it's not private. It's just that my dad doesn't get out much.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like if you were like my sister's been to a couple shows, and she's like, I'm like, I'm not making fun of him, right? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
She's like, you're also living the life that you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's not like you made something up just to get a laugh out of at the expense of dad. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll take it then. I'm glad that like she's willing to. She's also been to a few shows where she's like, why are these people doing comedy? She's like, you and this person are the only two people that looked like comedians.
Yeah.
Everybody else was like talking about pedophilia or whatever. And you're just like, you try to explain to people that people don't want to hear it. Yeah. There's certain words, very specific words, people do not want to hear.
It's crazy how much, like, I mean, you know, you've done a lot of comedy. I get around. I hear a lot of comedy. Like, it's crazy how much you identify quickly that, like, hey, the crowd does not like this.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, they kind of don't want to hear about all the Epstein stuff. Very heavy, you know, and we're still waiting on results from that.
If you get in and out of there quick, it can be fun.
Yeah, you can touch it. Maybe just reference it, but don't do it. You know what I mean? Like it's being. I mean, Jeselnik says you got to be smart about it, right? You got to art. It's art when you can do it, but get away with it.
Yeah,
and like I totally agree with that. And, you know, maybe we should cut these comics some slack because they're like a couple years in or whatever.
Sure.
They just haven't figured out how to do that yet, but they believe in those jokes. Like, so I'll cut them slack in that way.
But the fourth
But
time
it's
you've
like,
done it and got a bad reaction, you got to figure out
God,
if you
yeah.
want to keep doing that, you got to figure out a different way to
It's
say
like,
it.
dude, I thought we were past this. You know, it's like, come on, as a society, we've moved on.
Yeah,
you know?
and also what I found is young people don't have any money. So
Yeah.
when you go to when you know like do you know Chad Crandall?
The same name sounds.
He's a
very
big
familiar.
guy, beard. He runs a show at Al's Roadhouse. It's called.
Okay.
It used to be called Snowed In. I guess they're different owners, but it's in Broad Albin, which is like outside Albany.
Mm-hmm.
And he has like a show that it's a free show, but the bar pays him, and then he pays the comics.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
always packed whenever he does it. He only does
Yeah.
it like twice or 3 times a year tops.
Yeah.
To keep it fresh.
Yep.
And he also brings in consistently different comics.
Yeah.
And it shows like that, or almost any bar show with tickets that's like a restaurant-y bar, it's adults.
Mm-hmm.
Almost universally, it's 25 or 30 and older. Like, there's no, like, 21-year-olds aren't showing up at a bar show.
No,
Like, they're not
typically
going to
not.
the bar anyway
Yeah.
at all. So,
Yeah, the
like,
generation doesn't drink.
and
yeah.
maybe you get a couple, or you get like the sons and daughters of the older people that are coming to the show. They come with,
Yeah.
but you're not getting that consistently enough to be edgy in certain areas. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you want to talk about Epstein, like the 50-year-old woman with 3 kids and one's 12 doesn't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Because they start thinking about their children.
Very true.
But a 21-year-old with no kids might still think that's funny.
Because they're disconnected from it.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah. Also, like, just generational humor is a thing too. Because, like, you know, like, we grew up watching stand-up. I mean, a generation older than us might have had, you know, Elton Costello, right? And then, like, you know, the generation after us, kind of like the YouTube kind of like humor that is like, you know, those videos and stuff like that. Generation
meme humor.
Generation younger that is all memes and quick little reels, but it's like faces and like, you know, and I think like I was talking to a younger comic and they're like, I don't know, 23, 24, something like that. Maybe they're 26. I don't know. But they spoke in a lot of slang. And I'm like, if you're in an older room, which they were, and I'm like, you have to go slower because when you're saying things, they're trying to figure out context of what that word means to
Right.
you so they can understand it, you know. But if you just blow over like on God, for real,
No
and then
cap.
it's just like,
Right,
yeah, no
yeah.
cap. And they're like trying to figure out, they're like, no cap. Like, she's not wearing a hat, you know? You know, it's like that
And
word
some
means
of them
something.
might have kids, so they might know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like 40-year-olds, it's probably
Yeah.
going to be tough.
It's-
because their kids are going to be too young to know what you're talking about.
Yep.
They don't have, but if it's like 50 up and up, they might know what you're talking about because their kids are saying the same
Yeah,
thing.
literally a language barrier though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it's like going to, it's like doing a spot in New York and having the front row be people from France. You know, you have to speak a little slower.
Ben, you took that French in high school, so then
Thank God. You know, all of my jokes are actually written with elementary words too, so it works.
I was on the school bus yesterday.
Which I can't even say now in French. Brutal.
I don't know how to say was. Autobus is
Oh, yeah,
bus in Spanish, but
I can say I am.
je suis.
Je suis dans l'autobus, right?
Well, autobus is Spanish. I don't know if it's French too. It might be because they're just the same thing, only more.
Carl,
It's
hit
just
me
more
up.
bread.
Yeah.
Less tortillas, more bread.
Yeah.
That's like the only difference between Spanish and French. Spain and France are very similar in
Yeah, yeah.
attitude, in like chill, like hang out, like smoke cigarettes, and
Yep.
like just let me do my own thing.
Yep.
And then the only difference is like bread. Like
Yeah.
bread and tortillas. They just swapped.
Spanish people, Latino people, way sexier than French people, in my opinion.
I think physically,
Yes.
yes, but I think I like a female French accent more than I like a Spanish.
Oh, interesting. All right, so we're going off of accent.
Well, I'm saying like if I had to pick people visually, I might
Yeah.
pick a Spanish woman.
Yes.
But if I could only hear them speak, I'd probably pick a French woman.
Interesting. I think I'm going Spanish all the way. Yeah.
I like German, a woman that speaks with a German accent.
Okay.
I don't know how we got here, but
I don't know.
Brand,
Great to be here.
Spain, the difference between Spain and France, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I like that better.
Yeah.
I like an English accent. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Irish. I'm Irish. So
Parts of England are like, to me, that's an ugly accent.
well,
Parts
the
of
more
England.
posh.
Yeah.
The more posh, like.
Yeah.
Hello. No, that's Cockney. But that's still kind of hot. Like it's like, shine your shoes, governor. You know, like that. That's weird.
Yeah.
But like a proper British accent's kind of hot.
Master's in his quarter. It's like it's Dobby.
You won't go.
You'll go around the block and have a
It's like
number
Peaky
two.
Blinders. Like,
Gross. Yeah, dang. How did we get there? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, so comedy in England's going to be pretty sick.
yeah. Well, that's the other thing I would love to do. Like I kind of have a plan.
travel for it?
I have a plan. I because my sister's like, what are you gonna do when Dad passes away? Right, which
Right.
is not something you want to like think of
course.
but he's 80 years old. It's
Okay,
going to
okay.
happen. His health is not like the best, but it hasn't been the best for 10 years, so or 5 years. So like he's still going. you
Yeah,
know,
he's
like,
still going, yeah.
I think it's just like a old, like stubborn. I refuse.
Yeah.
thing. Like
Yeah.
I can't get him to take his pills all the time. I can't get him to drink water all the time. But he's just gonna keep watching golf and stay alive. You know?
my grandmother's the same way. She's just on perk and just fucking sitting in her chair all day long. And
Yeah.
it's like, I guess you're living, you know?
Yeah, I mean, my dad we still go to my sister's and stuff. He's not like stuck in the house.
Oh, she never leaves.
Yeah, me and my
so
dad go to my
he's
sister's
living
a
more.
lot. We go to doctor's appointments
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, but like, so my plan is to buy an RV because
Okay.
like basically the house is going to be split between me and my two sisters.
Okay.
And then so like a decent house in Connolly, it's probably worth like 400 or something. I don't know. I have no idea
Yeah.
because
And by then, who
I will
knows?
never buy a house. Like
Yeah.
I'll never own a house. I honestly don't want one.
Okay.
So like I might be the only millennial that's not mad about not being able to afford a house because I don't want one.
Yeah, I mean, I probably will never be able to afford one, but I was listening
Well, same,
to...
but I also don't want it.
Yeah, I was listening to an economics guy. He was actually advocating for millennials to just rent, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like, it made a lot more sense. And I'm like, oh, man. So anyway, sorry.
But yeah,
RV.
so the plan is to buy an RV and then spend I don't think I'm going to save any of that money. I think I'm going to spend it doing something I wouldn't have normally done. Like, so I want to like just travel and spend maybe a month or two for like a year or two in different cities in the country and like do comedy.
Yeah.
Hopefully by then I could potentially be a headliner by then, which is like where I'd like to be by then. So then I can sell myself better because it's hard to be like, hey, my name's Jay. I'm a comedian. I've been doing it for X amount of years and I can give you a good 20. Like that's a little hard to, but if I say I could be a headliner, but if you need a feature, I could do that too.
Yeah.
Like it's a little bit different to, you know, and I just want to go to places like, you know, like Phoenix, Denver. I'm not a huge fan of the Austin scene, but like I would go spend a month there and just
Yeah, I want to try.
see.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to maybe do it for a month or two, like in every place, because you'll not only make friends, you'll make, you know, it's like a networking thing, which I hate to say because that to me is the worst. I don't like
Networking in comedy?
Yeah.
I did so
I do it. Like,
Yeah.
But
I don't know. So like I have varying opinions on this because it depends on how I feel about it that day. But I do feel as though is that what makes comedy a craft and not an art is that you have to network and
Yeah.
you have to be a business about it. You know, you can sell a craft. I don't know. Art. If it was just art, it would be like, hey, this guy is very funny and we need to give him money to do his material. But it oftentimes is not that at all. It's like,
No, it's-
this guy knows this guy, that guy produces, that guy does this, he does that, and we're going to book this person because it's going to help us a lot, you know?
I saw a comedy flyer the other day and there was 8 people on it. and I won't say who or what show it was because it's fine. It's none of my business. It's if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
producing a show, you get to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of being a producer is you have the control of it.
Yeah.
But it was like 8 people on the flyer, and 6 of the 8 people were producers. And
Yeah,
I'm like-
that sounds normal. Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm just like, okay, I guess. But
so
like,
here's my counter to that because I'm guilty of doing that. My counter to that is when I book those bookers, like obviously I do want to be booked on their stuff. I don't make it a prerequisite. My prerequisite is that they're funny and I've seen them before, so I know it's going to be a good show. So the quality of show is not going to go down. I like that they know what I'm going through to put this show together. You know, like when I do my show, they know all of those aspects, and I like to kind of show off that I kind of do it better. You know, like I do like these little touches. So
you're doing it for a different selfish reason.
Definitely, yeah. It's very likable.
That's a better selfish reason than like I hope they book me.
Well, because like I'll say this. I won't say names, but I've had friends in comedy that I've booked on shows before, right? And I will claim this till the day that I die. I'm never going to dictate who's actually funny and who's not. Like when I book somebody, sometimes I don't find them funny, but I know my crowd will, you know? So it's not for me, it's for them. Right? But so I mean, I'll book somebody for that reason, and but if they don't like produce anything, or I've had people that I've had on shows and maybe the show didn't go the way that they wanted to, and then, you know, they might speak ill of it, which kind of upsets me. And it's like, you don't know how much work I put in to make sure that this was a good stage for you. And, you know, then you're going to be like upset about it, or they're going to like, I have a friend that I've booked a lot, right? And this person was upset that I haven't booked them recently. And I'm like, man, not for nothing, but there are so many comics out there that are trying, you know, people that are trying. And I'm like, you don't get out of town to try other mics, or to, you might do 1 or 2 mics a month.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're not getting any better. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
with the people that are going to that one mic, only that one. If you really, because I've seen people that I thought was the bowling night person, and then I see them get like frustrated with not getting booked on things, and it's like, you're not getting any better. You haven't gotten any better.
Yeah,
like there's no. First of all, we've only seen you do 5 minutes, and maybe it's the same 5 minutes. Or basically the same. Or you're trying to do the thing where you go on stage and, I'm going to wing it tonight. Yeah. And it's like, I've done that a few times and I'm 5 years or 4 years. Like, I don't do that regularly. Yeah. Sometimes I will just go on stage with a premise, but at least I have that. But like, they don't understand that, like, if I do, right now I'm only doing like 2 a week, sometimes 3, because of my dad and stuff. It's hard to leave him alone and stuff like that too long. And if I do 4 regularly, I instantly get better within like a month. I know I'm getting better again because it's just that extra couple times. Yeah. And even if one of those like is like a suggestion mic, even if one of those is like Alana just did a hot wing mic, I couldn't go. Like stuff like that. Just go do that. Like, and something. You're just getting like more time on stage. I don't think I was comfortable on stage until about 6 months ago. Like really comfortable. Yeah. Now I could still be more comfortable. Don't get me wrong, but like that was for the first like 3 years. It was like, I'm definitely gonna have like 2.5, 3 beers before I get on stage because I don't want the knees to wiggle. Yeah. Okay. You know, like and that was still happening. I was doing shows and doing all right on shows, but I'd still get the wiggles. Yeah. Like I'd still be nervous. The wiggles. I mean, you should be a little nervous because that means you care. But like, that doesn't go away for a long time. And if you go, I was never nervous, then you probably weren't very funny.
Yeah, or you just didn't give a shit about it, and then then you probably never got better. You might have been funny when you started, but you never got better.
Sure, yeah. Or I see people that get booked a lot, and they drop off on mics, and I'm like, where are you telling new jokes?
That's a good point too. Yeah,
like you're not like Mark Normand and Sam Morril. Like you're not touring and then doing $50 spots in New York City. Like that's their mic. Yeah. They're doing that as an open mic.
For sure. And like there's the caveat to that, I think, is if you're doing like 30-minute sets and around minute 10, you start
throw
working in
something
some
in.
new stuff that's new, and you're like, it doesn't work. But you have the ability to pick it back up
Sure.
because you're experienced. But I mean, not a lot of people on our level are doing that.
No,
You know,
yeah,
Michael Ngubiade can like do a 25, 45 minute set. And I've seen his set a million times. Like, I know when he's trying a new joke, and I know when he's about to try a new joke because his cadence changes, right?
Right.
And that's just like, all right, cool. But that's, but he also does mics. But I'm like, all right, this is his chance to try something new, and he's got a crowd to see how it works. But I mean, it's, I feel like he knows his voice and he knows how it's going to sound when he writes it. So
yeah, no, he's great. I have that like where I have to do a joke 2 or 3 times before I even like will try it in, and usually they're tags, like they're just extra, they're just add-ons to my dad or something like that. But I'll still do them, and I'll do like shortened version of, because like everybody in the comedy scene knows I live with my dad.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody. So it can't go up there and be like, hi, I'm Jay Connolly. I'm 43 years old. I live at home with my dad.
yeah, you can cut out the exposition.
Right.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden there's audience there. So like at Lark Street, there might be 10 audience members. At Saratoga, there might be 40, and I'm like, so I'll just go up and be like, I live with my dad. It's not a great thing to tell a room full of strangers or something like that. Like something that just is like quick that gets them to be like, okay.
Yeah.
And now I can do maybe the beginning or use one joke I already do in the set in my act, and then a newer part of it. And I can just do that quick in a minute. I'm not going to sit there and go through 5 minutes of dad material because I want to do other jokes too.
Yeah.
I just need to test that one because I want to put it in the act. Because I'm trying to elongate those jokes.
I do the same thing. And like when I write stuff, it's never like, oh, all month I've just been writing about my family. If I'm doing like a month of writing and I'm looking at it, like maybe like this week I wrote a lot about my family. The following week I wrote about like stuff I remember from when I was in a relationship, and then like maybe the next one would be like some childhood shit, and then maybe some work stuff or gym stuff, and then at the end of the month I want to try out that material on a crowd, and I have to figure out a way to make that flow, but like it's not going to be a cohesive set in the long term. If I were to do like a 25-minute set, I would organize all of that stuff with its groups, or it's like, its themes, and just kind of keep those separate.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's important to like, almost all of my jokes started as one-liners. Like that's how I wrote originally. And then that's when I like finding my voice. I think I might be too old to like find, like, I think this is who I am.
Well, that means you found it.
Right. But I think I knew it before I got on stage.
Gotcha.
Because like people are like, oh, you've only been doing comedy for 4 years. And I'm like, yeah, but I've worked retail and food service for so long that I was doing jokes that I didn't know I was doing jokes.
Yeah.
I was doing stand-up on like a kitchen line and not knowing I was, with just little random things, or making fun of the customers that come in regularly and those kind of things. So I think I found it through that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had no desire. I didn't know about I didn't know you could just go do it. That was the thing. I think I learned kind of 4 years ago that like, oh, like I can just go to Comedy Works on Friday night. I didn't know that. I thought you had to be in New York City or LA to do comedy.
Same. But I started at, my first open mic was at Laugh It Up in Poughkeepsie. And that was like one of those things where like I had to Google it, and Laugh It Up actually had an online presence versus all these like random bar open mics, Right. So that's when I went there, and that was at the time only every other 2 weeks. And that one went well, and then people were telling me once I got there about other open mics.
That's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah, but even when I started, I only went to that open mic every 2 weeks, and then it stopped. So then I'm like, oh, now I have to go to these bar ones.
Well, that's the thing. I went to Comedy Works 2 weeks in a row because I quit my job. I was doing DoorDash full time, which is a bad idea. Nobody do that. There's no money. It's all gone.
The Likable podcast does not condone DoorDash full time.
I mean, if you need a couple extra bucks, go do it. But do not think you can like survive on it. I'm very grateful and like lucky that like I am taking care of my dad, but it's also like I can't work a full-time job because I need to be home. I need to be home when he wakes up. I need to be home for dinner. I need to be home before he goes to bed.
Yeah.
So it does allow me to just do DoorDash a few times a week for pocket money, for walking around money. And it also allows me to go do mics almost any night of the week. I just figure out which ones I want to do. And then maybe my sister, like right now, my sister's at my house, just checking in on my dad for an hour or two while I'm gone. And I'm very lucky to have that. And I think if I was working 60 hours a week at Foot Locker when I was in my 20s and then pissed off about work all the time going to do comedy, I don't think it would have worked.
Yeah.
I think I needed to be in a place where it's like my only focus, kind of, besides my dad, is DoorDash is just push a button, pick up a bag, bring it to the other place, set it down, and take a picture. That there's no thinking.
Yeah,
I follow my GPS. I don't need to know where I'm going. Like, it's a very easy job, but it doesn't pay anything. So I made a ridiculous amount of money the first year I did it because it was the year the pandemic ended. And I was making like some days I was making like $600 a day in Saratoga during the summer.
Okay.
And then I'd be lucky to make like $100, maybe $2 if I worked. I would work like noon to midnight during track season, and I would make a couple of times I made like $800 in a day.
Wow.
And it was crazy. It was insane. But now that's gone. Like people got sick of DoorDash. Everything opened back up. It's it's just better for the world, but not for DoorDash drivers. And it kind of got word of mouth that everybody like, hey, go do DoorDash. You can make a bunch of money, and you don't have to deal
so now
with
it's more
anything.
diluted with competition too.
And the thing is, the turnover with DoorDash, because they don't pay much, is you don't make a lot because it's all tips. Like, it's so reliant on tips. It's more reliant on tips than like the waiting industry.
Yeah,
like you're at least getting $3 an hour when you're waiting tables. You don't get that with DoorDash. They may pay you $1 for a 10-mile trip, and if you don't get tipped on that, you're losing money.
Yeah.
And then when your car breaks and you can't afford to fix it, you stop doing DoorDash. Obviously,
it's on you. Yeah.
And so there's that. So it's not the best. So I don't recommend anybody do it. It's like if you want to, your kids come home from college, and they want something to do during the summer instead of getting a real job. That's probably a good way to do it.
Yeah.
There's like I know a couple of full-time drivers that are like it's rough now. Like
I used to drive taxi in this area.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and I did that for the first couple of years after I got out of college, and it was like 8P to 4A, and that was just like when school, because Bard College is near here, and when that was going on, we didn't have Uber yet. So make some pretty good money. Yeah, it was pretty cool, and like not for nothing, but like being a 23-year-old dude and picking up 21-year-old college girls, and like it was a much better experience than my coworkers had, because like I was getting like women were very nice to me and they tipped accordingly, like it was you're like
not a creepy old guy in a cab.
Exactly.
I've taken a lot of cabs back in the day.
Yeah.
Not one of them were what I would consider like cool.
Yeah, and like and when I got like sometimes like the earlier shifts, it was even better because like I was getting like these like older guys that would like talk to me about like, why are you driving a cab right now? And I tell them what I'm trying to do, and then be like, oh, okay, and they would try to help me out, give me a little bit more, and that was nice. And I had a very good boss at the time.
But if most of the time when you get into a cab, it's a guy that talks like this. And he's like, shut up. Or whatever, like,
dude, yeah,
don't open the window, it's broken. Like,
it was crazy. It was like, a lot of these guys, especially now that I manage a bar, like they go to the bar in between.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, you can't be like, I'm like,
Oh,
come on,
yeah.
like you can't be doing this. And
put
like,
electrical tape over the lights that have come on the car. That's always good too.
Yeah,
they cover up the like check engine lights and stuff.
Yeah, but they know cops aren't going to pull them over because they're
in a cab.
They're technically driving people that are drunk. So it's like, oh, you're driving the drunk people home. You're not a drunk driver yourself.
Sure.
And like sometimes they are, and it's just like, come on, man. So I mean, we have a thing where we don't serve them unless they're done with their shift, and
I used to love it when
gets
I get
sketchy.
into a cab and like, or I'd like be smoking a cigarette when the cab would pull up, and I'd be like, "Can I?" And he goes, "Yeah, I want one too. So get in." Like, and he's just happy that I smoke, so he can smoke, and now we both can smoke in the cab, and this is great.
Hell yeah, yeah. So Bard College, very wealthy kids. They're like 1% central here. I remember I picked this one girl up from the train station, and her boyfriend just broke up with her, and we had a no smoking in the car policy, and I don't smoke. So like, she's like, Dave, I know it's not okay, but like, if I give you an extra $60, can I just smoke in the car? And I'm like, let me call Kevin, my boss. And I'm like, hey, this is what you're doing. He goes, yeah, I'm getting half of it though. And I'm like, okay.
See, what you should have done is she wanted to pay me $20 to smoke in the cab. Yeah, that's
he would have said no for 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, so I'm like driving her around, and she's literally just having me drive her around like the back roads here, so she could just smoke, cry, and vent to me about the breakup. And then I just dropped her off. She gave me a fuck ton of cash, and I split it with my boss. It was just hell yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I paid strangers to drive me home once. That was a mistake. I was like blackout drunk. I remember like some of it. I told my friends, hey, I'm leaving. I'm going out to get a cab. I'll see you guys later. And I walked out of Cafe Hollywood on Lark Street, which doesn't exist anymore. It's now a coffee shop, but it used to be like they had pool tables. It was kind of like a skeevy-ish bar on Lark Street. But I walk out, and I'm standing there looking for a cab, and a couple just like pulls up in their car and goes, hey, do you need a ride? And I went, sure. And they were like, where are you going? I'm like, Connolly. They're like, $20. I'm like, okay. I got in the car. They dropped me off at home. I gave them $20.
Dang.
They could have murdered me. They could have. It was before
you
Uber.
could have murdered them.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, I was probably so visibly drunk that they probably weren't afraid of me.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that's true.
you know, like I remember to do that, I must have been hammered.
Yeah.
Because that's not something I would have ever done. I just made poor decisions based on the amount of alcohol I drank. But that was a long time ago. That was like 20 years ago. Okay. Last weekend.
It's after the Bubba show, actually.
I just had some random people drive me home from Hudson, New York.
Yeah.
That town is cool though. It's like almost like a Burlington vibe.
It's
like I thought it was going to be very conservative. Once I get anywhere, like here, I would assume. And then I come into a place like this, and I'm like, oh, these probably are more chill people than I thought they'd be.
Super liberal.
Yeah.
Rhinecliff is accused of being aggressively woke, actually.
Yeah, like, but I would have never guessed that based on like the outer driving here.
Yeah.
You just see like farms and like, you know, and campgrounds and stuff like that. And you're just like, oh, these are probably like, I've been watching a lot of Yellowstone recently.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I just assume I just started watching it, and I'm not that guy that thought I would like Yellowstone. It's great. I recommend everyone watch Yellowstone. Start at the beginning. Every character's garbage. They're all bad people, but for some reason you like them.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's good
Everyone
writing.
on that show, except for like the children, are horrible people. Like they all do bad things all the time, and you're just like, well, I hope that bad person does better than that bad person. Like, you know, it's just very interesting to watch. But yeah, I just started. It's so funny. I'm like, because I sit at home a lot because I'm with my dad, so I just start watching anything. I just input to not like. Not write jokes, essentially. Like
that's like when I know I need to write, I'm like, devices need to go in the other room, and I need to just be alone in silence, and then it'll flow, you know. But
yeah, I'd rather I'll watch a full season of Yellowstone in 2 days.
Yeah,
but not like pull out
write a joke. Yeah, And that's me with podcasts. You know, I'm like, oh no, silence. Like, I guess I'll see what Joe Rogan's up to.
Yeah, right.
You know,
well, Rogan's actually one of the funniest podcasts because I used to love it, and then the last few years I've kind of gotten away from it. But I'll still go back if like it's a Protect Our Parks show. I like.
Oh, I love Protect Our Parks.
Or it depends on the guest. He's now become instead of like a every time, he's now who's on it.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, this guy. Why I have no interest in this thing.
Yeah, there's those two British guys that come on, and I listen to those episodes because I need something to listen to so I can fall asleep. I'll play, actually, I play Rogan with a timer so I can knock out.
I play a lot of it,
Yeah, I just don't want, like, I don't want, like, an abrasive voice when I'm trying to sleep.
Sure.
And what kills me is, like, when he does an AG1 commercial. He goes, all right, bro. It's like, you know. But, like, those two British guys, they just complain about how... liberal and fascist England is right now, and it's like, all right, you know, and I don't know what They do.
Telling people not to do something that may harm a bunch of other people is not fascism.
Yeah,
I think that's what they do. That's what people jump to. People jump to Nazi too quickly.
Yeah, God,
Like, people jump to fascist too quickly. Like, I don't think Trump is a Nazi. I don't like him. I don't think he's a Nazi. He's just a guy who wants to do whatever he wants, and he's got enough people around him that'll let him do it.
Yeah.
Like,
He's more of a dictator, but not a Nazi. you
Sure,
know?
right. I don't think he's a good man.
Yeah,
I just when you say Nazi, like those were some of the worst humans on earth.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's that. I just think he's a spoiled guy who gets what he wants and and will continue to do that for as long as he can.
That's what's wrong with society. We lost the value of the word asshole. You know,
Right.
Calling somebody a fucking asshole or like a piece of shit like that.
It's so easy to do it now.
Oh, I know, and it's almost like the baseline for everybody. I think as therapy has become more like normalized, everybody themselves feels like an asshole or a piece of shit because they're normalizing it now. Therefore, when you see somebody in power being an asshole or a piece of shit, it's just not acceptable to call them that. They have to be something a higher tier of horrible.
Yeah, because your boss is an asshole.
Yeah.
So Trump has to be a Nazi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there needs to be Colonel fucking asshole. Yeah.
Right, they can both just be entitled pricks.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. They're like, well, it's not okay, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I would say, like, Cheney was a worse person than Trump. Like, as far as, like, what he was, like, trying to do inside his own head to get done. He was more mischievous than Trump. Just thinks X equals Y. So if you do it, this will happen, when that's not necessarily the truth. Or I bomb Iran, we get better oil prices.
Yeah, I think he's like the middle ground between Bush and Cheney, right?
Right.
Because Bush was a complete idiot.
Yeah,
that was
he
like
he didn't know or care what Cheney was doing.
Yeah,
and he just was like, having fun.
Right, you guys catch the Rangers game earlier?
Man, it was so much more fun. I heard some other comic or somebody was talking about it on a podcast and be like, I miss Bush. Like, to be able to like not like a president, but still go, that guy.
Yeah, because it was harmless. Yeah. It's like, all right, he's an idiot, but like he's our idiot.
Well, little do we know, Cheney was doing all the stuff behind him.
But here's the thing, like Cheney wasn't the face of our country.
Right.
The villain was, in the shadows. It was Lord Sidious to fucking Darth Vader. It was that guy, and that's I think what the difference is. Because like I was talking to somebody about this recently. I used to think when I was a kid, the president to me was like the best American.
Yes.
That's
how my mom taught it to me.
Yes, exactly.
You respect the president. I told her I hated George Bush.
Yep.
And she goes, doesn't matter if you like him or not. You respect him because he's the president.
Yes.
That shit.
Now we have a stand-up comic that is cosplaying a president. He landed the role of a lifetime.
We have a frat guy that will nut tap you on the way by as our president. And he's also like, that's not the worst of him. That's just what he's putting out into the public.
Yes.
He's worse than that, but he's also not like I would say, like, people are like, Trump's a racist. And I'm like, I don't think he's racist. And this sounds crazy that they're not the same thing. Mm-hmm. I just think he doesn't care for poor people. Yeah. And there just happens to be a lot of poor minorities. Uh-huh. So he's not racist. He just doesn't like poor people.
Yeah.
And a lot of poor people are like our different ethnicities. There's poor white people too, and those are his voters.
Yeah.
So like, to me, that like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get how like those people don't see it the same way as other people. There's a lot of poor minorities that vote for him too. Like, there's a lot of.
Well, he's done a very good job of kind of like racism. I think was invented because like when slavery was abolished, they were like. Or not even abolished, but when it was in effect, they're like, hey, we're rich whites. How do we keep those poor whites from being upset that we're rich whites? Like, oh, we have to make them better than somebody else. So as long as you're better than black people, regardless of their socioeconomic status, then, you're still better than them because they're just black, And that was like the thought process there. Now it's like, I don't think he cares as much about ethnicity. He's just like, oh, you're poor people. Like, how do we keep the poor people happy? It's like, we have to get them to blame liberals. Those people are trying to oppress you.
Or blame the poor minorities. That's always been a thing, though, is blaming poor minorities for taking your jobs.
Because those people don't have a voice,
They're getting filet mignon with food stamps.
Yeah.
And you can barely, and like the people in trailers that can barely survive qualify for food stamps. Mm-hmm. Whether or not they choose to get them
Yes.
is their choice. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, I'm not going to take a handout. Well, that's on you.
Yeah.
Like, that's on you.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, my tax dollars, you're not paying taxes. You get 10 grand a year.
But also, if you are paying taxes, get the money back. You know,
Yeah.
take advantage. That's the thing. Like, it's just like, son of a bitch, collect unemployment if you don't have a job. You know,
And if you're
pay taxes towards it forever. You know, like, son of a bitch.
If you're a boomer complaining about that, no one in this country will ever have it better than you did. No one.
Yeah.
For the next foreseeable future. If anything, it's probably just going to get worse until we're all like, until Terminator 2 Judgment Day goes off, and then that's it.
Hell yeah.
But
dude.
but
All for it.
my parents lived that. My dad had a great job. He retired almost full salary from the state with great benefits. Mm-hmm. My dad made more money retired with a military retirement and working like cooking for banquets at an American Legion post. He made more money doing those three things than he did while he was working. And he only worked like 2 days a week with his retirement stuff coming in. And it's like, once he hit Social Security, that's what it was. When he hit 65, he was making more money than he did working 50 hours a week for the state as salaried employee, you know? And that will never happen again. Like, nobody's retirement is going to be no regular, he made like $100 grand a year, which is good.
Yeah.
But it's not like they pay him more now that more things are more expensive. So that 100 grand got frozen. So if you only made 40, I'm sure your retirement's not going as well as, some people's.
Yeah.
But the benefits back then were so much better. Even when I worked at Foot Locker, the medical benefits were great. Now, like, go to a job and ask what the benefits are. It's going to cost you, you're going to spend $5,000 before anybody gives you anything.
I was telling one of our producers here, because I don't think anybody that cares listens to this podcast, but I might be looking for a new gig soon. And then they were like, well, I mean, so-and-so, does this, like, do they have good benefits? And then I'm like, I don't think benefits are like normal, it's kind of like especially.
It's why you get a municipal job or a state job.
Yes. Yeah. That's the benefit of working for a government, is
they're better than most private companies.
Yeah.
The salary's less. Mm-hmm. The benefits are better.
Yes.
Because they're buying so many more. They're paying for so many more insurance benefits.
Yep. And essentially you're gambling in a sense, because you're gambling on you getting sick,
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Because you need those benefits there. It's.
I recently, because I don't work really as much as I should, or as much as I could, but like I just recently signed up for Medicare. Just to, like, I don't have health insurance. I haven't had health insurance for 10 years.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I was telling somebody, I'm like, that's great. You got health insurance? I'm like, slow down. You're paying for it. Like, like
that's
you're,
true.
like, it's not great that I have health insurance because everyone else is paying a very small portion. But I'm not going to use it unless I need it.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm taking advantage of anything.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, if I fell down the stairs, I need to be able to go and it not cost $10,000. Mm-hmm.
My health insurance, I think, because it was a part of a New York health program, I think just changed. So now I'm like, I have to re-enroll on the 15th, which is, or I'd lose it or some bullshit
Right,
like that.
yeah, that's
I'm
right.
like, God damn it,
They'll do anything to not. I worked for an insurance company for like 6 months as like a phone, like, a call center. Mm-hmm. Man, like my sister still works for them, so I won't say who it is, but like, and it doesn't matter. It's all insurance companies. It's the worst place in the world to work.
Yeah.
Because, like, especially in a call center, because you're getting people that most of the time are getting something in the mail that they're not expecting. Mm-hmm. So, like, a bill or, and sometimes they're like, hey, I got this bill for $100 from this, that, and the other. And I go, okay, let me check your benefits. Yeah, that should be covered. Let me call and see what happened. And then they go, oh, we forgot to send it to this insurance. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, they're going to do that. You shouldn't know anything. Or maybe you'll like $10 copay and you'll get a bill for that in the mail. And they're like, cool, great.
Yeah, because they see 100 and like, oh.
Yeah, right. Or 1,000 or 100,000 or whatever. And then sometimes it's an old lady that didn't sign up for a certain like when you turn 65, you automatically get enrolled in Medicare. Mm-hmm. But you have to sign up for Medicare Part B and you have to pay for it. And it's like cheap, but you have to pay for it. And it's like extra stuff. It's non-emergency things. It's like your regular doctor stuff. So if you don't sign up for that and then something happens where you need that stuff, you pay for it. And then what happens is people that have like retirement insurance, like my dad has his retirement insurance, but once you're over 65, Medicare becomes the most important insurance. So I know this is obnoxious because it's
okay.
Like insurance
It's okay.
fee. But if you know anybody in your life that's turning 65, make sure they sign up for Medicare Part B. Because what happens is all of these bills get sent to Medicare and they go, nope, you didn't sign up for it. It doesn't go to your next insurance. It just goes to a bill because your next insurance says Medicare should be paying for this. So I had like old ladies calling me that owed hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills that I'm like, that's on you.
Yeah.
And then they're like, their
sucks.
daughters would call me and like, and I'm like, I went to my boss and I go, I don't know how you do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to not care about anybody to do this. My sister works in she works with like doctors and stuff. So it's a little bit different. She's not working with the public whose lives are falling apart.
Yeah.
But I was getting phone calls every day
rough, though.
from people whose lives are falling apart because of medical bills. And I'm there to tell them, sorry, there's nothing I can do for you. And then I also worked there when Obamacare got like rolled out. And we also, our group of people on the phone got chosen to help direct people that were calling, asking questions about the Affordable Health Care Act.
Gotcha.
And I heard the N-word probably about 3 times a day. And I wasn't allowed to hang up on people.
Just from your boss.
Yeah. But people were calling and being like, I can't believe we have to do this because of this. And it was just like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And I remember I took all of my sick time because I worked there for like 6 months. So I had accumulated sick time.
Yep.
I took all of my sick time, for like a month. I would call in for 2 days, like every other week for like 2 months or something like that. And then eventually I just went in and I'm like, she's like, you've been taking a lot of sick time. I'm like, that's because I quit. And I wanted to make sure I got it all before I quit.
Yeah.
And,
but good for you though, because like, what they owe you that,
Right. And she goes, you probably would have gotten paid out for it anyway. And I'm like, yeah, but I certainly don't trust an insurance company.
Yeah.
Like to just pay me. Like I'm going through all of these people who aren't getting paid for things that, or what happened? Well, I'd get people on the phone that were like, you went to the emergency room and it says it's not covered because you had a stomach ache. Like, so oh, you had a stomach, like that's not an emergency.
Yeah.
I go, did you feel your life was at risk? And they go, did you feel like your life was at risk? And they're like, yes. I'm like, okay, thank you for saying that. That's all you needed to say.
Yeah.
You have to say, like, it wasn't just a
Certain
stomach
words.
ache. I felt my life was at risk.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that I even have to do that.
Yep.
Like, it's like $100, like, copay. Like, just pay it. Like, just let the insurance company just pay it. Like, what are we doing?
I know it's a scam because I didn't have health insurance and I thought I had a cancer at a certain point. And I was, like, getting all these tests done. And when I was getting, like, the bills for it, I had to call, and then I would get the bill for like $3,000, right?
Sure.
And then I would call, and then I'd be like, "Hey, I'm self-pay." And they're like, "Oh," and they're like, "All right, that's gonna be $1,100." And I'm like, $1,900 just like that?
Yeah.
Like
They'll
that's crazy.
try to bill you for
Yeah.
it. They will make the mistake. It's not. I don't think it's on purpose. Like a doctor's office doesn't care.
Yeah.
But they will bill you in hopes that you pay it because insurance companies can take a while to pay it.
Yep.
So they might say, well, I mean, we don't have his insurance information, but we're not going to call him and ask him for it. We're just going to bill him. Mm-hmm. And then if they don't pay the bill, then we'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. Like, or then when they call and complain about it and saying, why didn't you send this to my insurance? Then we'll do the work.
Yeah.
Because some people, especially if it's like not that much, like if it's like a $200 fee or like a $200 thing, if you send a $200 bill to a 60-year-old, 80-year-old woman, she's probably going to be like, yeah, that's probably what I owe.
Yeah.
And just,
Gym memberships work the same way. You sign up, it's $25
Forever.
a month, and Kevin hasn't been here in 6 years, but we've collected that money every month. Is it safe to say Kevin doesn't come here anymore? Like,
satellite radio.
Yeah, that too.
Satellite. Do you have any idea how hard it is to cancel a satellite, like a Sirius XM?
I canceled Sirius XM a couple years ago, and they were giving it away. By the time I was like, please just stop billing me. They're like, how about 50 cents a month? And I'm like, we started this conversation at $20. We are down to 50 cents. Like, get out of here.
That's
like
crazy. crazy.
It's criminal. It's horrible.
My mom, we had a car that had it. My mom signed up for it, and then she like during COVID she had a stroke and wound up in a nursing home. And me and my sister were going through stuff, you know, trying to figure out can we get rid of that she may have signed up for or whatever. And Satellite, we had to close a bank account.
Wow.
To get them to stop charging us. That's insane. Because we didn't know her passwords and stuff. And like couldn't find them out, didn't know her email password, so you can't get like a recovery. Like you can't do password recovery when you don't have the email address.
Yep.
And they intentionally make it difficult. We're trying to get rid of it. My dad has a Amazon Prime subscription that we're trying to get rid of. We can't find what email, what everything, and he doesn't know. It was like 10 years ago when he signed up for it. So we're just getting charged $19.99 a month for an Amazon Prime subscription. And I told her, I go, what? Cancel the credit or can't go to the bank. No, like they won't do it. I'm like, can we cancel the credit card? She's like, yeah, maybe. I'm like, well, just cancel the credit card and get a new one. Who cares?
The gym that I worked for had the technology where if your card expired or declined, the software knew to find another card that you also own based off of your social.
Well, like Planet Fitness does bank account. They want your checking account. They don't want your debit card.
Yeah.
They get your bank account.
Yep.
That way, it doesn't. If your debit card expires, it doesn't matter. It's just coming out of your checking accounts. It's like they want your routing number,
which is good because it saves you those. You know, the
your
fees.
card gets stolen, you got to replace it. You don't have to go to the gym and deal with that.
Exactly. But dude, the fucking it being like, hey, your Visa expired, we're gonna try your MasterCard that you didn't put on file is fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's how those Planet Fitness doesn't make money off of the people that show up.
No, God no. They're actually banking that you don't.
Right.
That's it's in their business model.
I did that with them too. They were trying to charge me, and I said I didn't want it, and I closed like a debit card and like reopened it with a different one. I told the bank, I go, I don't want to pay for this anymore. They won't stop charging me, and I did not sign a 2-year or there was no like length of agreement. And they told me I have to go in and then talk to this guy, and then the guy's not here, and I'm like, you guys suck. I'm getting rid of this.
Yeah.
I'll figure out a way that doesn't involve you. And that's what I did. I was like, can I report this card's lost and then just pay $2 or whatever it is for a new card? And he goes, yeah, you could do that. I'm like, all right, I lost the card.
Yeah.
And
hell
he
dude.
Cut it up right there at the desk, and he gave me he's like, I'll mail you a new card in like a week, and they won't be able to charge it anymore. And they couldn't charge it anymore.
That's a good bank.
So I got rid of it. Yeah. They probably get it all the time.
Probably, yeah.
And it's their customers. They don't care about Planet Fitness. They care about the people that are at the bank.
Yeah, they want your money in that account.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're taking $20 that would be that you guys could give to somebody to buy a house or something.
They don't want you to close that account. You know? Right. Yeah. All right, dude. Well, I think this might be a two-parter. This is a 2-hour episode.
I did this with Super Salad.
I know, and I was so jealous. I was so jealous.
I got the record over there, so I'm trying to hold on to it.
What was that? Like a 2.5-hour episode?
Yeah.
All in total. All right, so we're 30 minutes short of that.
And I didn't have to pee at all, so I'm.
You know what? They had filler pee breaks. You know.
Oh, they pretended?
Well, no. I'm just saying. Like you went to the bathroom a couple times. They had we got one-on-one conversation.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, I also had like 4 beers, so like that.
Sorry, I didn't pump you full of alcohol.
No, it's all right.
I didn't get you drunk to take advantage of it. Dude, thank you for coming in, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you for coming out, dude. Where can people find you?
At J Connolly, CONNOLLY _comedy on Instagram. That's really all I use. I don't do TikTok or anything.
Oh yeah, fuck TikTok.
And I don't have. I got a couple things. Not until like August. I don't have any shows right now, but if you're looking for a funny comic, I don't know. I was trying to. Like,
were you about to say old?
Kinda, yeah. Like if you're looking for somebody that can appeal to most audiences, I can do that for you. I'm not going to go up talking about anything too niche. It's about my life, so it's a good. It's for everybody. I try to be for everybody.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's a good way to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for coming on here. Likable is a comedy-based podcast. We're experts in absolutely nothing. Thank you to our producers, Matthew Rosenberg and Jen Hammoud. And thank you to Epicurean, which hosts us for each and every episode. Please come in, stop and shop, and maybe you'll catch us on the air. I remember to turn on the sign this time. I forget what the rest of it is. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and take it away, Carl.